Hello, Bloby.
Yo, yo, yo.
So, why don't you tell us a little bit about yourself?
A personal or yeah, well, I could do
Well,
both.
more about the game. We don't want people to look you up on Facebook and add you as a friend after this.
Cool, but I don't use Facebook. I don't know. I've been playing BO since it came out. I deleted my character, I think 3 times because of the blacksmith tools. I started at the beginning, same as Shorty. Uh, like when there's only 5 looters around, and that's all you can do, and just farm weed. And you can have like a stone fighting at the arena. That's the only thing you could do. And I stopped playing it for I think for a while. Then Clan Update came there, then I came back, checked that out a little bit, and then Frostlands came out. That was more intriguing for me. Like there's finally something we could do as a group.
Hmm.
I played that until I got burned out basically of it. I was with what's his name again? With the Empire basically.
Would this be with the Northern Empire or House Hessia?
House Hesse, that's for damn sure. That's the only one I remember. And Pestilence as well. So wherever Pestilence is right now, and Last Stars was there. And well, most of them went for towards either being away or some of them went towards Flan. Yeah, but yeah, it is what it is.
Hmm.
Stayed in Frostlands until we got burned out, basically. There's always a few people who are trying to defend and a few people trying to leech off. Well, that's the BO community. Some people leech, some people try their best to work as a group, but that's it. And took another break after that. And then I joined Sturgia. Relia, the martyr, invited me to join. And he was like, I still remember, he was like, why do you have 200 leadership and 100 athletics and not 200 riding? Well, what can I say? So yeah, then I joined Sturgia. Stayed there, I think, so far. Correct me if I'm wrong, but there plus 1 year.
Yeah, plus 1 year in a maybe a month, but I would need to
Yeah,
double check.
yeah, I need to go to DMs with Relia, but yeah, like plus a year. Really liked it. Like it's not the biggest group, which I like. It's more, how do you say it? People get more in touch with themselves and with their friends, I guess, that they play on BO. So that's nice.
Hmm.
And yeah, well, that's me basically. And yeah, yeah, I bought Monarch to get attention of Storm, but yeah, that's another subject.
Interesting. So that whole tidbit about Monarch kind of leads nicely into the next question that I have lined up. So, how do you feel about the Bannerlord Online dev team? I know it's a bit of a hot topic at the moment, given the fact that the clan updates come out and a lot of clans, especially the older clans such as those drawn from the Desert Alliance or uh, Sturgia, which is also called Ramonists, but that's not to get confused with us who are also Sturgia. So, for the sake of the podcast, we will call anyone in the Ramonist community Ramonist to not be confused with our Kingdom of or our Sturgia.
Yeah.
But essentially, all these groups got together. To my understanding, they were all really looking forward to the update, and well, there's been a lot of arguing about it. Can
Well,
you give us any idea about why this has happened?
well, let's let's just look back what the entire dev team has been doing. It's like they're giving us content and then they're silent for half a year, or maybe if I'm correct me if I'm wrong, maybe for an entire year they do only small patch notes. If we all remember the Halloween update, everyone was so excited. Oh, look at this Halloween! Like it's cosmetic, and one bandit leader is changed a little bit with the coding. That's it, and everybody got really excited for it because finally something happened. And this is the same scenario with the clan update. Finally something happened. People were excited about it, but it's not thought through at all. The beta testing, which I did extendedly really long, the cooldowns were 12 hours, and all the coding was a bit different than it is on a live server. It's you if you find bugs, I did report a few bugs, they got fixed, but it's after it came live, it was more buggy than it is. And as my personal job, I do understand what they're doing. Like, oh, look, here's the paper, or like, here's a project, or here. we did this, and then they walk away from the project, which they shouldn't have done. They should have stayed more in contact with the community, like, hey, what's going on, this and this. We should not have that many feedbacks, but that many negative response for almost a month now. I think a month plus already. And now they're finally, maybe I did something wrong. And that's the entire dev team. Like, the entire dev team is, okay, I do understand we have so many moderators, but I'm not gonna be negative towards them, but they're being more chat moderation than any help whatsoever. The only people who can help you is Moonlight and Storm. That's it. Correct me if I'm wrong, but those are the only two who might actually help you. And in my eyes, they're a bit biased as well. Moonlight did help out in a Ramones clan, who the clan leader got banned, and they transferred clan leader towards another person, and it doesn't happen towards anybody else, just only them, which is also really nice for the rest of the community now. The clan update itself, it's a nice idea, not thought through. Beta testing should not be 10 times faster, but should be like real time as it is on a live server, because then you would have caused all these problems that we're having right now. All those issues would have been resolved and gone. The community, sorry for talking negative towards the Desert Alliance, but they should have read through the patch notes. Like, great that they all took the care of him, but everybody took advantage out of it just because they don't want to read the patch notes. It's always a two-sided sword. Like, either the dev team is doing something good, but the community is also doing something not good. Like, both teams are not doing anything good. And the struggle there is that the dev team is not communicating with the community. The community is getting pissed off by it and just doing their own thing. And it looks like sometimes like a bunch of 12-year-olds playing a video game, even though most of us are, 20 years plus. So I hope that answers your question.
It does. Yeah, it does answer number three quite nicely. The impact of clan update, and from what I've gathered, it doesn't sound like many players enjoy the clan update. Partly
Ah,
because the system wasn't thought out. I mean, for anyone who isn't aware, PvP clans can declare war on each other, but this war only lasts about a week, and there have been many, many other issues, but essentially after this 1 week of fighting, where if but neither clan has gotten a certain amount of score, then you just have to deal with a 1 week truce between you and the clan that you've previously fought.
yeah. Yeah, and on the beta server that was 12 hours. Well, I'm sorry, everybody goes towards work, has real life shit, does something in the evening, and goes to bed. It's not you cannot really test something which is 12 hours when on the live server it's 7 days.
Mm.
It is a good update for the PvE players though, but that's like cutting the community in half.
Yes, I mean, I raised the point as well to people in drama that PvE doesn't really have a lot of content. I mean, I know I'm not meant to be stating my opinion in this podcast, but I did point out how the only thing that a PvE player really has going for them in this mod at the moment is Black Claws. Like, that's the only unique bit of content.
Yeah, yeah. Black Claw and Hawk, because that's the only thing that's PvE.
Well,
100%. That's it.
I wouldn't really count Hawk as PvE though, because Hawk is just
Yeah.
very much you're walking around like any other place in Bannerlord. Like, I could walk fight forest bandits in that.
Yeah, but
Of
restrict
course,
if you restrict yourself fully to never do player-to-player combat, then Hawk is in that subject as well, and that's it.
true. But do you feel as if like this? I hate the word disconnect, but I'm going to use it. This disconnect between the development team and the community is hampering the mod's progress and development.
Mm, there is no communication between developers and community at all. There is none. There's only the communication only happens when a small, well, not sure if it's the right word, riot will happen. Like a lot of people will get pissed about it. A lot of people raise their concerns. Maybe then they will look at it. But I stated towards Storm many times, and also stated towards Moonlight many times, like, okay, cool, I'm a project manager on my real life job. Communication is a key to keep both parties happy. They're not communicating at all. And since Now they're trying to do it, but they're still not there. But at least I see them trying, which is good. But I'm just in my eyes, I'm thinking how long you're gonna keep on trying until the castle update is there, and then you're just gonna walk away, and that's it.
Hmm. So let's backtrack a little bit here. That
Yeah,
comment about the Monarch deal.
yeah,
So you went and got Monarch to get the devs' attention, right? Correct?
yeah, correct.
Now, for anyone who isn't familiar with Monarch, and correct me if I'm wrong, it does cost about $100, pounds, depending
100.
what.
Yeah, well, depending what currency. So it's like $110 is around 89 pounds, or no, 89 euros, and something like 80 pounds, something like this. Yeah.
And
But I could quickly check up. But yeah,
so
around that
is that
number.
monthly or yearly?
It's a one-time cost.
One time cost. So this on top of Patreon payments. I'm
Yeah.
presuming that, you know, the real issue here isn't monetarily, because we could do the calculations, have a look at Patreon right now, and how many people would be subscribed to that Patreon?
Monthly 386. Sorry, I just keep I keep a backtrack towards it. And the funny fact about this is, I talk with some Russians, and they do not have access to Patreon because they don't have a Mastercard whatsoever. They do not have access towards Ivden, the Chinese version, because the Ukraine and Russia war. So how do they get Patreon? They contact Storm immediately and send money immediately towards Storm's bank account. But then again, this is their words. I don't see any proof of it, but that's their words.
Hmm.
But yeah, basically, you can get Patreon, which is either a 1 month thing, like a subscription for 1 month, and then you get like the next month is a redo subscription, or you can use the Chinese site, which is a one-time payment for any month you want to pick out.
I have to admit, I am quite a fan of the Chinese website, and I only ever bought Patreon once, and even then I sort of regret it. But
Mm.
that's my take. I like to earn things in game through grinding. Just the type of person I am.
Yeah, I do respect those people, but for me, it is more like I played enough games. I'm old enough to realize how much I'm worth per hour,
Mm.
basically. And if I, for example, put 2,000 hours in something that I enjoy doing, then I wouldn't mind paying Patreon to help out, whatever, because someone spent time of his daily thing so that I can spend time on his thing, like someone put the effort towards it, and then, yeah, well, it's same as a book. You can like download the book online, or you can go towards the store and actually really buy the book.
So, heading to the fourth question, do
Yeah.
you think the BO development team will take on advice from the community? And if possible, can you provide examples? You mentioned about using the Monarch payment to get in touch with Storm and Moonlight.
Yeah.
So, how did that go?
How did that go? And went good for 1 month. Storm and me had a back and forth conversation for like a month fully. Like every 2 days, we had a normal conversation in DMs and also in the general chat. Um, Moonlight never really responded, but we have an example. For example, Bjorn, who is in Southern Alliance or wherever he is now. He spent like a lot of money, but he had like a short temper. And I contact Moonlight, hey, look, he bought 8 times Monarch set because he's a rich kid. Can you please give him the status? Because that's the only thing he wanted. The next day he got it. Moonlight didn't reply towards my message, but I think she saw the message and she did it because Bjorn has been bitching about it. Oh, sorry. Bjorn has been complaining about it for a couple of weeks. Um, I had a normal conversation with Storm over text messages. I have a normal conversation with Storm in general chat. I did give him feedback, and the mainly feedback I always give him towards him, like make sure you contact the community because that's kind of the issue you need to do. Like there's sometimes no communication with him whatsoever, and it will be in his own benefit and his own benefit also for his money if he keeps on interacting with the community. I even gave him, even talked with most of the clan leaders, like to have a poll system going, and I gave him back the poll, like, hey, what do you want to get changed, etc. Blah blah blah. This, what do you like about the mod, what you don't like about the mod, and etc. He saw the message. He says, "Thank you, great job," and that's it.
That is quite concerning to say the least, isn't it?
Mm.
And
Yeah,
yeah,
it's more like Storm cannot communicate. Like it's a big ass introvert, maybe, I don't know, but there's no communication whatsoever. Like maybe he does listen, but he doesn't. Maybe he does listen. Maybe he's stubborn and he doesn't want to communicate. He's like, "This is my project. This is not your project. I don't want your input." Or maybe he's like too shy to even admit that he's wrong or that he needs help. It's because we don't know because we don't get an answer out of him. We never get an honest answer. The answers that we're getting is politically correct for the BO mod. And that's it.
politically correct for the BO mod. That's a
Yeah.
that's a term and a half you've thrown in there.
He is the developer of the mod, is he not? It is his paycheck. Like he gets around like $300,000 per year. That's a good salary for where he's from.
I mean, it's very good, but I do find it. So, what about Moonlight? Isn't Moonlight,
Yeah.
being the community manager, meant to be the one doing the communication then? Because that
Yeah.
is part of her job.
Yeah. Yeah, 100%. Yes, that's why I was. That's why I bought Monarch. That's why I put my best foot forward because Monarch was not doing any communication whatsoever with the community whatsoever. She even got Relia banned. Well, Storm banned Relia, and then an hour later, Moonlight posted, "Please don't do this, or you will get banned." Like it should be the other way around. So
Uh, yeah, that whole incident.
yeah, yeah. So that was my pissed off moment when he got banned, and then I tried to put my best foot forward to either make sure that Storm will know like, hey, I need another community manager, or I need to replace it. Like maybe Moonlight has too much shit going on, and she's too the work just piles up, or she's not communicating at all and not doing her thing. I'm not sure if she even gets paid out of it, but it's not that hard to spend like an hour a day. I spend like 2 hours a day answering 86 emails in the morning, and then I'm done with my work.
Mm. So, just to summarize here, the BO dev team is on paper what? Four people?
It used to be more. I remember there was a guy called Lilo or Leland or something like this.
Mm.
There's Moonlight, there's Storm, and he uses Slender as well. And Sinkwolf he uses, and the that German guy, that Einstampfing, whatever his name is.
So, there's six.
Yeah, those are confirmed. They don't want to confirm it, but they also are in the special beta testing server.
Mm. So, there's six developers here, progressing very slowly on a mod. Now, obviously,
Yeah,
we're both very old players here. And we've
yeah,
both been playing BO for roughly about 3 years now, correct?
yeah, yeah. Getting
So,
close to my 4,000 hour mark. Yeah.
yay, 4K buddies. Um, so, other than BO really hasn't been challenged in that time, has it?
BO has been challenged by a persistent empire in somewhat way, but it's not the same. And BO has always been like the only eagle in the sky, and well, the rest of them are pigeons. Just he never really had a real challenger.
That's a good way to put it. I mean, don't get me wrong, I like the idea of persistent world, but that's very much you're just in one scene all the time as you. But some
Yeah,
people really crave for that single player experience, you know?
yeah,
Like, I'm a particular fan of the co op mod, personally, But there was a mod that you brought up last week to me, and I kind of myself got addicted to it, sadly. And can you explain to the viewers what the? Am I saying it right? Sika.
It is Sika. It is a development team of 26. They have a little issue which is called restriction from the Chinese government, which I noticed. So those 26 people that they are, you can look them up on the forum whatsoever, but they had a single player mod, so everybody who's not online, not familiar with the mods you can have on single player. They had on Steam Workshop, they had a single player called the Sika World or whatever, something like this. They've been funneling, playing with that mod for 2 years plus. They finished it. That was their project. They're done with that project. And they wanted to go towards the online version because some of those Sika players did play BO and they probably made the concern, but most of the mutual servers of Discord do connect. All of them come from BO or one way or the other. So then you have Sika Online, which is same as BO almost at this point. A little bit less content because it's brand new. They just got out a new map. They are very talkative and very communicative with the community. If you have an answer, maybe because of time zones, or maybe you're Chinese, Japanese yourself, you get an answer straight away on your time zone. But for the Americans or for some Western Europeans, Northeast, Southwest, yeah, you get your answers a bit later or early in the mornings. But I have always had the opportunity, and a lot of other people also had the opportunity to have a one-on-one conversation with the developers if they found something out, like, hey, this is not working correctly, or help, I'm stuck, or I don't know what to do.
So when was Sika released again? It's about 2 weeks ago now.
9 days.
9 days ago.
Yeah. Yeah, the European server is out for 9 days. Yeah.
And in that time with Sika, I mean, on its first day, we saw PvP, like an actual PvP bit on the starter island. I mean, admittedly,
Yeah.
it is terrible synchronization, but has been out for what, 3 years?
I think a bit longer, but yeah.
Yeah. So let's try and understand. So why are a bunch of BO's like heaviest PvP clans, the real like 5v5 crowd, heading over to Sika?
To get a head start, they enjoy the communications they have with the developers. Some of them have a chance to start over again and develop a new character because they got banned on the BO mod for different reasons. Some of them were for crashing the server, some of them for RMTing, whatever. The Sika mod is aware of what they did. They did got the full details of all the pictures of why the person got banned and linked with the Discord account. Why are they all going over there? Because it's very simple. It's a brand new thing. You can get a head start with above everybody else with all the skills. You can test out, experiment as much as you want yourself. The developers are talking back and taking your word of advice or your suggestions seriously. They always respond, and I never saw this happening in BO as much as they do over there. And it's the new map. Like, it's completely different from the Bannerlord map at all. It's completely different.
That is true. I mean, I have been on it quite a few times. And
Yeah.
there's quite a few translation issues, but given the fact that it's been only out for 9 days, it's quite an accomplishment.
Yeah, well, maybe they've been working on it for like 2 or 3 months, which kind of like if you go towards the forum, you can backtrack. It took them like 3, 4 months to do the old translations in Russian, English, French, Spanish, Polish, etc. And some translations are still a bit wrong. That's fine. They're working as much as they can on making and improving the mod, and I think they take it seriously, so that's really nice. And yeah, I like that it has other functions. You don't need to chop wood for orders or just be like really limited. You can even craft your own items. You need to get blueprints, and it's not like Black Claw blueprints, but you can get blueprints from bosses, etc., or daily logins. There's crafting. You can go make your own clan, which in their bad translation is called family, and inside the family area or clan area, you can build your own house from scratch. You can make your own farms from scratch. Like I don't see BO doing this. Yeah, cool. There's a customizable room you can do with a chair, chest, and torches. That's it.
Hmm. So, do you think in this case, because many of the PvP players are jumping over as we speak, I
Yeah.
myself am still on the fence. Do you think that Sika Online will be the eagle in the sky to rival BO?
Yeah. And if I can be honest, if Storm and Moonlight slander and Sinkwolf, instead of slandering about the other mod, and actually took a look of their Discord and how they communicate, and if they learned something from it, then there will not be challenges for BO. Then they will always be on top because they do then everything correctly. But they're not. They're not doing that. So yes, in my eyes, giving the time uh, with the amount of people who are testing and testing out the bugs and with the constant feedbacks they're getting, I think within a month it will be a rival of Storm. Yeah.
Well, you pretty much just answered question A. Where do you think the BO team can learn from Sika Online? And by the sounds of things, the main bit of feedback you have for them would be just talk to your community.
Yeah. Like it will be a shame if, for example, the castle update is there. You have 1 week of fucking beta testing, and the castle update is there and happens. And after that, there's the Storm and Moonlight, the dev team basically does the same thing what they did with the clan update. It's broken. It's not working correctly, or it's not working nice for the community, and the community will go to shit. Sorry, will go wrong again for a
Yeah,
month.
we'll keep in some swear words because honestly, I can't be bothered editing out that.
Yeah, like I'm happy that Storm is like, oh yeah, let's do the clan update, the castle update. But I'm also scared if they do not take the responses of the community as seriously, then yeah, then it will be the end. Because don't forget, it's the last thing that they wanted to add.
That is
Kingdoms
true.
update is the last thing they wanted to add. There's no new regions, by the way.
No new troops. I mean, there have been minor troop balances, but nothing truly outstanding in BO
No.
compared to
Yeah, they
what's
have like
gonna be happening
yeah,
in
go.
Sika with what was it? Monsters?
I don't know. Like it's again bad translation, but there's group dungeons you can do. So basically Black Claw. There's elite monsters. You can say elite monsters, but this is elite AI.
Mm.
It's just troop versus troop basically. They have their own troop tree, which BO doesn't have. Yes, okay, they do have like the Northern Elite people and the Bandit leader that is also uniquely coded towards BO. But like learn something from out it. Like in Sika you have farming, wood cutting, mining. You have even have the option to herd your animals, and all those skills are there, and you can do all those skills. In BO you have all the base skills over there. I don't see anybody using charm. I don't see anybody doing rogue, and that mod has been out for 3 years. What you gonna take a looter as a prisoner and then recruit a looter later? Why not?
Mm. I
But
mean,
yeah,
yeah, it is going to be that question, isn't it? Once BO comes out with castles and kingdoms, right?
yeah.
Will that be a golden age for BO where Storm can finally take a step back and develop for these skills such as charms, specific tasks you could do? I mean,
I ho- I don't know. I hope, but he could have done it over the 3 years from now.
That is
Like
true. I mean,
there,
remember when
there is,
prisons were added?
yeah, there's still a guy who is maybe he lost his account or whatsoever, who had prisoners because he wrongly coded the day and he had to revert the code for that day, and the guy still had like prisoners, looters, and forest bandits. And he's still walking around with them on the NA server.
Damn.
Like the
Hmm.
option is there, but he's not doing it. And no matter what excuses you come up with, I'm sorry. If you do listen, I'm sorry, but if you earn around $200,000 a year, spend 20% of it on another developer that you can trust for 6 months, 3 months, and be done with the mod, and then you can lay back, get your Patreon, everybody will be happy.
I know I'm meant to be unbiased here, but it very much. I mean, I know Storm probably won't listen to this. Maybe Moonlight, and then Moonlight would tell Storm. But are you
Hmm.
familiar with the Octavius incident?
Yeah, I'm aware of it. The guy was like making a Patreon, and then at the last moment, Storm said, "No, thank you, we have someone else."
Yes.
Yeah, I'm aware. But Ramon has the same issue with Storm as well.
I mean, a lot of people have these issues with Storm and Moonlight.
Yeah,
Like, I am meant to be unbiased here, but I myself am quite pessimistic about when castles come out. Because probably what will happen is what you say, you know? They probably will just throw up their hands and be like, we're done, fill our Patreon up, and maybe next Halloween we'll give you a new pumpkin. Or maybe a Christmas
yeah,
candle.
exactly. And that's what I'm scared of because were we not a year without any updates whatsoever, just really small patch notices?
Yeah.
Yeah, we worked fixing on the server. Server kept on crashing. What did you do? You didn't do it correctly. You know, all those things.
I mean, there's also the ongoing bot crisis right now, isn't there?
Ah, that's the reason why I stopped playing BO at this point.
Yeah. I couldn't believe it when you pointed out to me that there was an entire clan filled with bots.
Yeah,
And Storm was insistent on, my code could detect them. And what did these guys running the bots do? They just added a new line of code.
yeah. And if you talk to any person who's a bit familiar with anti-cheat system of CC plus or etc., they can make a bot working and it goes around Storm's anti-cheat system. I don't really think he has an anti-cheat system at this point. I just think people will just have to become a little bit smarter and just work around his code, which, to be fair, cannot be stopped. But then you should own up towards it and be like, yo, yeah, we have a bot problem. Yes. Yes, we're going to ban them. Thank you for your input. Thank you for your report. Thank you for your video evidence. Thank you. But they're not doing it.
Hmm.
Or just a simple message. For example, any post we make, thank you. We will consider this. We will come back towards you shortly or soon. Just do something simple. Like, even with that message, you can walk away for a week.
But they don't walk away for a week, do they? They walk away for half a year to a month. And even then, they'll probably not do anything about it.
Yeah. Like, again, like I said, I did like BO a lot. I do like the community a lot. Like, it is somewhat toxic, but it's a toxic in a good way. It's in a funny community sometimes as well. But as a developer, this is not your community. This is your paycheck. Like, come on, bro.
Hmm.
This is something you should take seriously and not walk away from. Like, we can walk away from it. All the consumers can walk away from BO at any moment they want to. And they were like, oh, but the amount of hours I put in towards it. Well, for people who are listening, there are other games that came out, alpha stage. You could put hours in it, but in any game there's an alpha stage, the developer can be like, yeah, no more funding, I will end the game. And your 1,000 hours are gone. Don't feel entitled that you have to keep on playing. Enjoy what you're doing, and that's it.
Hmm. So what do you like about BO? Like, clearly there's been something that's kept us both here. I have my reasons, but I'm not too sure about yours.
A community, that's it.
Fair.
I don't mind. Like, I'm sitting on 87 million in-game money. And this is not because of Patreon. Yes, maybe 12 million came from Patreon. Woohoo. But you can just flip the market, work on the market. You can not grind for a week and actually make so much money, and then don't give two peeps about it. If you like the community, that's the reason why I keep on playing. I like playing with Demon 5. I like playing with the HV. I like playing with HH. I like playing with the entire Sturgian. I like the little beefs that we have going. I do not like, and I do like some hate messages you get from other people when you gank them, but that's it. You know, that's part of the game. And there's always, because of those hate messages, there's always like this rivalry between you and the other people, which is always there, which is kind of fun to, act on. And if that goes away, then why should I go playing on the mod? Why should I spend my time where I know the developers are not listening fully towards what the rest of the community is saying? I'm not speaking of my own terms, but a lot of people feel this way, but are afraid to say it out loud.
That's why this podcast exists. It's to let you speak. I mean, I'm not as good as a host as Aurelia would be. Aurelia was truly unbiased. I have to pretend to be. But when he got banned, like, he stopped doing the podcast and that. And I mean, I was devastated. I loved his work, you know? I loved his interview with Safa. Like, that one was always one of the funny ones to me. I think his interview with Last Tash was my favorite, though.
Like, Aurelia got banned for the reason that Storm said, okay, we found a bug, we know why the server's crashing, please do not type this in. And then, what do you expect an 18, 17-year-old kid to do? Like, everybody who's listening knows Vivka, knows Mateo. If they knew what crashed the server, don't you think they will press it constantly until it's fixed? Like, yeah, Aurelia was sadly how it is, it was a sacrifice. I want to call it a sacrifice for the mod, for the developer to be like, for example, Storm, when Aurelia did it, Storm will go towards the computer. Why does the server keep on crashing? It's because of this reason, but I told him not to do it. He keeps on doing it. I'm going to ban him, fix it within an hour, and walk away. And he did fix it in an hour, and he banned Aurelia, and he walked away. And he let Moonlight deal with this shit. Like, he knew what the fix is. If you know what the fix is, then just fix it. There's no reason to walk away. Yeah.
No.
I can go on a rant, but I don't want to go on a rant.
This is the place to go on a rant. This is what people tune in for. Like, if you don't want to share it, that's fine. You don't need to.
Okay, so very funny. I got Al-Safa muted for 2,600 hours, which was hilarious for me because I just killed him in a match, but I lost the match because it was 5 versus 1. But I said, hey, nice jump shot, hey, and then he assaulted the fuck out of me, and I was like, okay, cool. Well, let's report this. He got muted, and I'm like, oops. Well, guess that's well deserved. And that's what I like, It's not the reporting people, but the interaction you have with the people. You have no fucking interaction with the developers whatsoever. The only interaction which you have, which I found out, if you spend more than $100 on it, when it's a short period of time, you have a small interaction, and that's it. It's basically, oh yeah, thank you for paying for my food, electricity bill. Thank you, yes, thank you. Okay, bye.
If we weren't on the BO podcast and you gave that same description, I would be confused if I would probably think you were on OnlyFans, actually.
Yeah, well, yeah, exactly. Like, all of us are on OnlyFans. Like, every new player who joins, I'm not gonna say out words, but everybody says, "Do not support this mod until they fix it. Do not buy Patreon." And that's what everybody says. And for people who say BO is not a pay-to-win game, I'm like, boy, shut up. And I always say this: what kind of horse do you use? Do you use a desert lootable horse, or do you use a patron horse? Yeah, I use a patron horse. Then your argument is already invalid. The best horse there is a patron horse. So you kind of, in one way, are forced to buy patron to have one step ahead of the enemy.
The unlootable Patreon horse, which, by the way, for reference in Sika Online, there's a horse breeding skill, isn't there?
Yeah.
Yeah, so you can make your own best Patreon horse in there for free, in comparison to Bannerlord Online.
Yeah. Yes, sir.
And I think it's sort of that practice that tells you the main difference between the design philosophies behind BO and behind Sika. Of course, Sika is only 9 weeks old. Like, it could be a month in, and then, they'll release some Patreon that's horribly overpowered and that everyone will have to buy for. But
Oh no, we already found out overpowered shit that is just play as much as you can, do the dailies for like a week or for like a few days, and then because I bought the Patreon over there just to support the Sika mod, just to give the extra edge towards Sika, like here have a little bit extra money so you can do your thing. Please work this, make this compatible. Please show Storm that this is possible, And 5 days later, someone converted all their medals, which you can earn by dailies, towards a new blueprint. And my horse saddle is 62 armor, and his horse saddle is 82. So, and his horse is also better. And his horses are non-Patreon, and mine are. So this again proves the point. It's not pay to win. Sorry.
no, don't worry about it. It's a hard topic to talk about because all of us we kind of all cherish BO in our own ways, don't we?
I cherish the community. Don't cherish the game anymore.
Well, yeah, that's true. I mean, I think it is really the community that's kept the BO alive for as long as it is.
100%.
Like, I mean, I remember the days when Moonlight and Storm used to hold little events, but then they just stopped. Like,
I think the last one they did was with the Flandian around, what is it, around Otisha Bridge, something like this, and Do Not Gank. Like some people got ganked, some people got banned, some people got away with the ban. Cool.
I don't know if that was the one. I remember the tournament that Moonlight hosted.
Yeah, that was from around Otisha for like a 2 days shit.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I call it Flandia, but yeah, it's around Otisha.
Yeah.
Because he specifically said, do not cross the bridge. When people are trying to cross the bridge, do not attack them. And some people did.
Yeah.
And those people who did it were like, oh, I want to have some fun. I want to click on the guy, have some PvP. They got banned, and now they're at Sika. So yeah.
Well, I think
Like it's not all.
Oh, go on.
Like it's not only cheaters who playing at Sika. It's like a lot of people trying to figure out if it is worth playing, yes or no, because they got fed up with BO staff, basically. Like prime example, Olga made a post at 0909 about why the wars are so shit. The truth system has to be removed, and then we have this special person. Let's call him special, Sync Wolf, who made this poll, and everybody's like, "Oh, look at this poll!" But even Olga did it a long time before him. It's biased as hell. But yeah.
I think let's try and end this on a somewhat positive note. BO's always going to have that status of being the first Bannerlord on MMO.
Yeah. Yeah, 100%. Nobody can take that away.
Yeah. And I think everyone's going to enjoy the fact that, there was so much drama, so much, like, there was content. But
Yeah,
from our sort of opinion here, the main drawback to the mod was the development team, the lack of communication.
yeah, yeah. I'm not gonna spend my time when there's no communication between what's happening, yes or no. If you don't want to have any communication whatsoever, remove the suggestion panel. You remove the IDs and wishes. Remove everything. Just only keep EU drama over there, the trade chat over there, and patch notes announcements. That's it.
Mm. Well, on that note, I think we'll be ending the podcast. Please subscribe down below. We will be trying to get more sort of interviews with people from potentially other mods. We'll have to wait and see.